Still just so sad that Octos cannot wear scarves, because let's be real here, it would be freaking adorable. But you are resistant to electricity, my friend, so let's be slightly cautious, because this buddy scares us. This is where something like Manifold Assault would have come in handy, because Lightning Bolt just isn't quite going to cut it. We almost don't want to IMB, because we actually want these Sons of Guns to walk towards us, if at all possible. And in fact, I'm going to just melee attack you for a bit. Apparently that's going to do all the heavy lifting. Holy moly. And we'll blast you into oblivion. Perfect. Not quite as scary as it was originally making itself out to be. Sneaking suspicion that we'll do all right for ourselves in that regard, at least for the moment. Let's be cautious how optimistic we get, because still plenty of run to go, and things are only going to get freakier from here. At least until we get that Dragon form Manifold Assault and we just start slapping the absolute crap out of everyone in our general vicinity. Or, you know, of course, Storm form also hits that same marker right on the head, so just have to survive until then, of course, and we will be sitting pretty. Fantastic. I don't like seeing Convoker from that far away. I prefer if we could just sneak in a quick little irradiate here, a quick little irradiate there, or, you know, just murder you. As long as they don't get the convocation off, that's all we really care about, and we did manage to succeed in our life goals there. You love to see it. Fantastic. Again, only slightly terrifying, which is about as good as you can expect on any low defense character run. I say as if I can complain when as soon as you have statue form up on Octopode, I feel like you've already gotten through the rough spot, as it were. At least that's a generally safe rule of thumb to throw into it, because it is just truly incredible once you have some form of defensive capability, how strong your Octopode can get with a nice selection of rings arrayed before them. Oh, there are two of you. Hello, my friends. Well, nothing a lethal dose of radiation can't fix. Fantastic. And once more for good measure. Wonderful. Now, I was hoping to just heal up, my friends, if you could be so kind. Apparently not. Also, gonna check real quick. I'm getting a phone call. I'll have to call you back after stream, unfortunately. I was pretty sure I'd be getting a phone call at some point during this stream, but I did want to get into the mix here with good old Dr. Calamari and see if we can't make some good progress on this evening. I'm very much hoping that we can win the run. I was going to say or die, one or the other. But definitely, let's hinge our bets on the positive outcome here. If we can just get through this run in one piece, then that will mean that we're on to the whole new world. Hold up. Sorry, I'm distracted as a Lich shows up out of the blue. You hate to see it, but fortunately we lost statue form at the perfect time to just beat a hasty little retreat here. In general, I think we can take on a Lich, but definitely not when we're already in less than stellar form. And oof. Well, I guess we're in this one for the long haul, so get ready, folks. Hang on to your butts and get absolutely blasted. It's not even fair when you have OTR up and running. So we will stay in statue form, especially against our Thunder Hulk friend here. And just beautiful. Pretty sure we had some commenting on the YouTube series joking about how we engaged our cheat engine as soon as we had OTR and Ignite Poison up, and they definitely were not wrong. It is a huge advantage. As long as I don't do anything too stupid, so let's stop talking about how overpowered and cocky we are and instead focus on that little itty-bitty factor of, you know, staying alive. And yeah, opening the door statue form down into the face of a couple of yaks definitely was a bit of a nightmare situation, but nothing we can't make our way through by sheer force of will here. Again, only slightly, only mildly terrifying, which I'm happy with. That's better than can be said for a lot of characters we've had in the past, so you love to see it, really. Okay, Translocations has hit 8 now, so that should bring Manifold Assault into castable range. Let's double check that. With a quick peek here, 4% failure rate. We'll probably end up training a little bit more. We don't want to be wasting any mana, as it were, but it's definitely looking good. If we can free up 2 spell slots, we could get that rolling immediately here. Could forget Stone Arrow. Could forget Poisonous Vapors. I guess we're not really using that much these days. I mean, Sting can definitely go. You're right about that, Safid. Unfortunately, it needs to be comboed with something else, so maybe for old time's sake, we'll keep it around just a little bit longer. As we run back to our stairs, read up a quick little splash of amnesia, and let us learn the good stuff here. Where'd you go, where'd you go? Manifold Assault. Fantastic. So now we're going to very much be thinking about switching over to a more dragon form centric style of build here. I mean, our defenses are slightly worse off. Lots of fire resistance. Oh, I guess this RF ring can go for double cold, and then where does that leave us? Definitely better. No electricity resistance is slightly terrifying. We can always swap over to statue form, I guess, if that becomes exceptionally relevant. 20 AC, I mean, you'll want to see it slightly better than that, but should be okay. We'll turn on unarmed combat to just train in the background for now. At some point also defensive skills might need to be addressed, but we're not going to worry about that too much at this point in time. And let's see, if I go dragon form, let's test this out, shall we? I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. One shot you, my friend, real quick. Beautiful. I'm almost going to need to put on another macro here. You know what, let's do it. It's been a long time since we brought in a new one. I'm going to put it on 9 here. Hold up. Redefine this. That's not what I meant to do, but we'll allow it, I guess. Do I just press the key? Why is my brain broken? There we go. And let's make this ZN, shall we? Fantastic. Turns out I completely forgot how all of this worked. Whoopsie daisies. Your macros are also lazy. ZA period. Oh no, that's exactly pretty much what we have going here, minus the 2 kind of big boys on 0 and 9 for any transmutations, or at least that's how we've used it oftentimes in the past, and are doing so now. But dragon form, you can go on to our N there, and now we'll have nice and quick access to all those sons of guns as needed. Hello, my new friends. You know, that's a decently pesky selection of foes arrayed before us. Let's throw in a little bit of OTR while we're at it. Though Manifold Assault's still the ringleader of it all here. So we take an OD to the face. Jeez Louise. Definitely less than ideal, shall we say, but perfect time for us to get out of there. Did I kill the Lich, or did it... Oh, I did destroy the Lich. How about that? I thought it must have blinked the heck out of dodge, but no, turns out Manifold Assault is as good as they say, kids. And I do absolutely love it. And so once more into the breach here, nothing really too crazy. We're pretty much settled into our general routine that we'll be dealing with until the end of the game. I mean, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. I've always said this. Big fan of the Baroque period here. And not too shabby. Even Dire Elephants, not the end of the world. We should be switching over to Manifold Assault to take care of some of those sons of guns in the back line. But managed to break myself out of my hypnosis of just pressing the tab key while in dragon form. I mean, it's just so easy. It's so tempting every single time. You just keep smashing that tab key until everything dies, and it just works. Except I guess our Vault Warden friend here is getting a little bit risky with it. But if we take some steps back, zoom out for just a wee bit here, and I think we'll stay in dragon form. Statue form, very tempting to swap into here, but also very much happy to just murder everything as well. That works wonderfully, and it's nice when we're in dragon form we don't have to worry about the slowdown that statue form brings along with it. Sure, we're not above 30 in AC, which is a little bit less than I would like at this stage in the game, but it's hard to argue with just murdering the absolute crap out of all your enemies. So we'll just make do with everything that we have going for us here. Hello, my friend. Finally getting another stat level up, so we'll quickly buff out our intelligence stat to the nth degree. I should have checked that you didn't have distortion. Electrocution, not much better. In fact, as the Thunderholt comes out here, let's swap over to our resistant form rather, in statue form. And I feel like between the two of these, we should be feeling fairly comfortable moving forward. I guess, where do we sit? 3 pips of willpower? Fantastic. You love to see it. And just have our way through the rest of you sons of guns. And you as well, my friends. Beautiful. And that should be Vaults 2, just blitzing our way through this section. I think we'll keep going for the time being. Nothing's been too sketchy so far, and we're definitely racking up the experience about as much as we would like to here. We do another quick ignition check. Ignition check, 19%. It's definitely on its way there. Fantastic. This is where Vaults 3 suddenly throws a curveball at us and I get scared for my life. You know, that's close to a curveball that scares me for my life. Not quite there, because we're able to murder everything in rapid fashion, but it's nice to know that we can still feel fear, even if it's just the tiniest bit. Ah. Why, hello, friend. Now you are an interesting one. Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. Probably should switch to statue form. Definitely if we're going to stick in this fight. I'm tempted to stay in dragon form while we run away briefly here. Regardless, we'll take a quick second, do my pennant hands off the keyboard method while we think about whether I want to take this fight. I mean, if we had a silent scroll, I could definitely murder you in the marketplace of ideas here, Nicola. It's just rough because we don't have resistance to electricity as a dragon, but boy, do we have the damage to spare. One more quick check of you. Your willpower's too high for any of our wands or any shenanigans in that regard. You're not poison resistance, so we could switch over to Curari darts. Or you can run the opposite way, and honestly that works for me as well. We'll just immediately backtrack just a smidge here. Whoopsie daisies, ran the wrong direction temporarily. If you stay at edge range just long enough for our dragon form to run out, okay. Little Curari never hurt nobody. Switch over to our own statue form here to actually get some defensive capabilities. Can keep you nice and Curari'd up. And in fact, continue to do so or not. That's, I guess, cool too. But there we go. As soon as you come into irradiate range, you've pretty much signed your own death warrant. I wasn't really paying attention to how much radiation we had, so I could have ended it up with some bad contamination, but never didn't have it, of course. And that is beautiful. Oh gosh, where are you? There we go. Fantastic. So even Nicola is not going to be enough to throw us into too much of a tizzy today. Oh, And a scroll of blinking. Don't mind if I do. Wand of Flame has probably outlived its purposes for now, so we can drop that son of a gun off. And you know what? I feel like Manifold Assault actually might be the better solution to a Convoker about to bring in a slew of buddies. And beautiful. We'll again go back to statue form to take care of this son of a gun. And wonderful. So between these two forms, we're feeling pretty good, feeling pretty solid. Just have to make sure I have the presence of mind to not do anything too stupid. And we should be in a beautiful spot. Moving forward for the rest of the run. It's just something so satisfying about murdering the majority of things. And if not one shot, then at the very least two should generally do the trick. And we can also freely wander around in dragon form without worrying about how much time we're spending just walking around. It's not that I'm too concerned about Zot Clock, because we're in a pretty solid spot in that regard. In fact, if we check in, 10,000 turns is far more than enough. But it's still nice just for the sake of it. And definitely need to bring out OTR for this crowd. Beautiful. Well, that's one way to take care of them. Hey, Cocktail, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend, or a long weekend if you happen to be fortunate enough to be in the midst of that. But regardless, it is of course lovely to see you. Ooh. Hello, my sorcerer friend. You could have been quite scary. Fortunately, you just slapped them with some dragon claws, and not a heck of a lot is left to worry our pretty little sweet heads about. Fantastic. And so once more into the breach, Ring of Magical Power can definitely go by the wayside for the time being. Let's finish off this floor. Any second now. Just one final corner, one final dire elephant. Hello, my friend. And okay, dokie. So we still have vaults 4 to go. And I'm thinking we'll continue to hedge straight on down till morning. One more quick ignition check. 11%. Ooh, baby. We need 7 spell levels to make it possible, which isn't super likely. I guess we could get rid of IMB. Feel like I have to regret that. Alternatively, Stone Arrow, Sting. That brings us up to 4. Nope, and still would have to get rid of IMB. Which might be worth it temporarily to just bring another mass AoE into our selection here, now that I think about it. We'll wait till it's a little bit more castable than 11%, and then I'll force myself to make decisions. Something that I'm always absolutely dreading the very thought of. Making decisions just isn't my forte, at least when they're meaningless decisions, or ones that I don't have much of an opinion one way or another. It's nice when you have an opinion on decision, makes it way easier to go through with, but is so rarely the case on my end. Drives my partner crazy, because I'll just constantly be like, whatever you want. Which just, of course, puts the onus of decision making onto her, which works great for me, but not so much on her end of things. Did we get 2 books last floor? I think we did get a couple. I've kind of stopped paying quite as much attention as I should, just because we're blitzing our way through here. But that sounds about right. I mean, we could do a quick check to see if Stormform came up in them, because that's the only thing that we're kind of desperately hoping to come up, even if just to keep our thematic integrity together, since that was from the very beginning moments of Dr. Calamari's career, all they ever wanted to become was a storm. It's like when you ask 5-year-olds what they want to be when they grow up and they all pick inanimate objects, only this time it actually works that way. You too can become the storm for one small price of $11.99. Hello, my ugly friends. We'll just slap around with some Dragon Paws and Claws. Fantastic. Oh, there's Saint Roka. We were talking about you earlier, my friend. Well, 200 health. I probably can take you as a dragon here. Let's start off by just going into dragon form. We definitely need to take out all of the crowd as quickly as we can. But that works out for us when we have the poison just continually applying itself over time. Getting slightly scarier here, but a bit of irradiation thrown into the mix, and even Saint Roca doesn't stand much of a chance. Absolutely fantastic. And they should really, I was gonna say ban this combo. That's not true. Devs, if you're listening, do not take anything I say seriously. I'm delirious. I'm going crazy. I'm going out of my mind here. Because it is definitely one of the few things that can really get an Octopode run popping off. Octopodes and Felids, I should say, are both huge contenders for these transmutation combos. But look at that ring. It gives us the resistance to electricity we need in Dragon form. Gives us cold resistance, which is huge in Dragon form. Slow is not great. Don't get me wrong. Definitely one of the slightly worse off negative egos that you can get on your rings here. But I still think that more than makes up for our weaknesses, and so I can't help but dive into it head first, and that's fantastic. And perfect. Even to my own detriment, I'll just spam that tab key if I think I can take on a fight. Definitely could have immediately taken a turn for the worse, and I would have very much regretted all the decisions I've made in life that have led me to this point, but no such luck for our opponents, and instead we can feel pretty good about it. Wow, that's our first haste potion in the whole game? Jeez Louise. They're just not handing those things out these days, huh? Now this is my kind of room. This is where OTR gets to still shine oh so brightly, even with the up-and-coming Manifold Assault definitely taking the driver's seat in most regards. Just beautiful. And we get a gift from it too, which has... Oh, I saw the word form and I got excited. Taking bets on when the slow yo gets us killed? No, that could never happen to us. I'm sure we'll live a long, healthy life. No scares whatsoever, not even close. We, of course, never don't have it. We are all well aware of this simple fact in life. And so let's make it a reality, shall we? Definitely want to head straight for the Convoker here as soon as possible. There she is, fantastic. Just beelining the ever-living crap out of you, friends. Only one convocation so far is a pretty decent track record. I'm happy to see it for sure. It's a bit strange seeing a pack of harpies hanging out in these there parts, but I guess to each their own. Sorry that you had to be horrendously murdered by the devilishly handsome dragon here, but such is life. And there is Vaults 4. Holy moly. Before I accidentally take a stairwell down and get myself into a heaping load of trouble, let's just head upstairs and decide on what we want to do next. I guess it's most likely head to depths and just begin the steady clearing of the next stage of the game here. We could end up doing Vaults 5 for our third rune. We're definitely on a character that could get away with it. Especially with Ignition up. If you have OTR, Ignite Poison, and Ignition, you're probably able to demolish your way through there. But similar things could be said for Slime, and I still feel that Slime is generally safer across the board. So you know what, we'll just have to burn that bridge when we cross it, and for the time being, let's just head off to D15. We also have a few areas of the regular dungeon that probably need clearing. There are a few different floors where, you know, we were avoiding Herald, Snorg, all this stuff that's definitely in our ability to take out now, but was not even close at the time. Connotations, you hate to see them. I like to have them as a bit of a reminder as to what we faced, what we've been through together, but can definitely see it bothering people who like to have their interfaces a little bit cleaner. I mean, if you know me, then you know that I far way more heavily onto the side of, oh, we can't move. How about that? Just being lazy as heck. So generally, I'll go through any amount of clutter or annoying things just to avoid even the slightest amount of work going into it. But if it gets unbearable for most of chat, then I'm always happy to change my ways, as it were. Definitely throw out some poison with these sons of guns, because things are getting slightly sketchier, but nothing we can't handle. Might find Stormform in rune rooms. I mean, you're not wrong. Stormform could be anywhere. It could even be around this corner. Not quite, but we almost caught you, game. We almost got you on that one. We'll maybe get there eventually. I'm trying to think of where Stormform sits relative to just going beast mode with our dragon here. Both seem pretty useful in their own right. Oh, I saw this. I read this wrong at first. I thought this was a +2 hat in +4, and I got very excited. So as is, it's not that different from our current hat, just intelligence instead. I mean, we could wear it because at the end of the day, we're melding it into our body the majority of the time anyway. So it's not exactly a huge loss one way or another. Let's see, I'm not going to be going berserk anytime soon. So let's grab it. There's nothing on this list that jumps out to me in any exceptional way. So let's just grab our new hit and see what +4 int gives us, shall we? Even if it just makes Dragon Form slightly more castable, that's probably worth it. It does bring us down to 3 AC while in regular form, which is not grand. Might have to rethink that one in just a bit here, but for the time being, let's roll with it, since we're probably going to be in Dragon Form the majority of the time, and if we ever get knocked out of it, then we have tons of problems anyway, so c'est la vie. Ooh, some shops though, don't mind if I do. And Grimoire, the Necronomicon is almost definitely worth grabbing just for Divine Exegesis as a last-ditch lifesaver. So let's mark that son of a gun. What else do I want here? I don't believe any of these have Stormform in it, so we'll just leave it by the wayside for now. Just a bunch of regular rings, not exactly what we were hoping for. Unrestrained Analects. Analects. Huh. That's a sweet book. Olgrebs, Toxic Radiance, Ozakuba's Refrigeration, and Ignition all in one spot. That's a one-stop shop to get your ball rolling for sure. Another requirement we so desire. Fog and Fear can both get marked as potential purchases, and I know we're potentially saving up for that Necronomicon, but I can't help but roll the dice here. Let's grab another requirement and get the +3 Kite Shield of Dogmatism. Arlex, Slay +3, and Stealth? I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, you know me too well, Safid. If there's ever a shot, an opportunity for the Gamba, I can't help but take it. And it is a decent shield. It's a bit of a shame we can't wield it while also being a dragon, but it will help us stay alive if we ever get knocked out of our forms in a less than desirable position. So there is that. Regardless, we'll pick it up. We'll switch off our Hat of Death Resistance. Oh, I didn't even realize the portents we were potentially bringing upon ourselves by dropping that son of a gun. Hopefully, we don't end up needing any death resistance anytime too soon here. And you were just Stone Giant Zombie. Perfect. I should have been paying a bit more attention probably before just diving headfirst into it, but no real issues. Fortunately, the Troll Shaman doesn't get the opportunity to might and haste those, Iron Trolls is what I was going to say. +4 Ring of Slain, normally not something I'd really bat an eye over, but if I get rid of Evasion and switch it off for some extra Slain, that does help with our Dragon Form shenanigans. So there is that.